Can't somebody change? Isn't with God all things possible? This is a comment someone wrote to me yesterday. And if you have a spiritual belief, absolutely, something all-powerful certainly could make changes. But here's why, as a psychologist, I'm not so optimistic. There are 3 things that impact who we are and what we do and why we do it. The first is who you are genetically, your predisposition, and we all come into the world with a different one. There are some babies who are just hypersensitive, difficult to console, and very reactive to external stimuli. Then there are other babies that everything rolls off them. They're very easy to please. You'll have babies who want what they want when they want it and get really upset when that doesn't happen. And then you'll have other babies that are just chill. And you might find them awake in the crib for several minutes before they start to let you know that, hey, I'm hungry. That's the base level, is our character. And these things aren't changeable. I mean, if you're an extrovert, good luck trying to be an introvert. And if you're an introvert, good luck trying to be an extrovert. Narcissistic people have a predisposition to excessively focus on their worldview, only on their perspective, and only from that perspective. They aren't very emotionally connected to anyone else. They don't feel sympathy or empathy for what you and I are going through, as well as having problems with self-direction, being goal-driven, and being determined. And they often tend to be pretty impulsive. The next layer is that connection, that match between the baby and the caregiver. If you have a highly sensitive baby and not so sensitive parent, not a good matchup. And the same could be said for the opposite. If you have a super sensitive parent with a very irritable baby and they play off of each other, that's not a great combination either. Or maybe the matchup between parent and child is perfect, but life isn't good and things start to go wrong, like illnesses and tragedies and losses, job losses, moves, and that all can impact that infant too. These 2 things, that character laid down on top of the attachment and the quality of those early years, make a powerful impact on a person's development that sort of sets the track, sets the what to expect out of that individual going forward. And that's what they're going to tend to go back to unconsciously over and over. They may say, I want to be a completely different person, but can you make those kinds of changes that you really want? I mean, how many times have you made New Year's resolutions only to give them up 6 weeks later? If you're a resilient person when you're a child, you're probably a resilient person now. You've always been impulsive. You're probably impulsive now. If you're a person who sticks to goals, you probably stick to your goals. If you're a person who tends to be sort of excessively clean, you tend to probably still be excessively clean. These things are become baked or hardwired into our personality. And then the last level is what happens to us and what we do about it and how we adjust. But that's not as easy to shift those early 2 layers. So by the time that you and I hit adulthood, we're pretty much who we are. So if you're in a relationship with someone who's surly, defensive, who doesn't take ownership for what they do, they're not likely to ever be any different. If the person you're with thinks it's okay to attack you, that your needs don't count, really struggle to create space for you, doesn't even know what it means to be emotionally safe and to be respectful of you, they're probably not going to change. If the idea of love to them is transactional, in other words, what you do for them or what they do for you, and they really don't know how to show up and share vulnerably from the heart and care for you and allow you to care for them, that's not likely to change. And it doesn't matter how much they say they want it to change. The best way for you to know what's real is what happens consistently over time. And this is what traps most of us. Most of us who are very driven people, who set good goals, who know what we want, and we head for it. We hear the right things coming out of these individuals' mouths, and we think, oh, they're going to approach it the way that I would, without paying attention to the track record, recognizing that, no, they don't do those things. They don't follow through. They often say this stuff, and then nothing happens because nothing changes. So have I described your relationship? If so, you're probably in a relationship with someone who's got a lot of toxic traits. And are you hopeful that they're going to change? I wouldn't bank on it. What you see is what you're getting. And the next question is, what are you going to do about it?